This is Myra with Halepule's Everyday Ayurveda and Yoga podcast. We're in late spring here in New Zealand and enjoying the longer days and the warmth that comes with that. The plants are all popping with new leaves and fruits and veggies of all sorts. And birds singing all around. We have so many birds here. The transitions between seasons are really good for keeping the mind flexible and fresh. We all have our favorite times, but we can learn to find the best in all times of the year when we see the bigger picture in life. Appreciating the rhythm of change and the cycles of nature helps us remember who we are as eternal spirit, that unchanging part of ourselves. And this brings me to Ishvarapranidhana, the last of the niyamas, and our exploration of the yamas and niyamas this year. Ishvarapranidhana is actually two words, Ishvara, which means the ruler of choices, blessings, and boons. In more recent time, it's defined as God, the unchanging, eternal aspect of our true self. Pranidhana is giving attention to being prayerful, meditative. Together, then, these two words symbolize the remembrance of who you truly are by giving attention to that eternal aspect of self. Ishvarapranidhana signifies commitment to the God of my heart. It's the practice of total devotion. Ishvara, as the ruler of choices, could mean that there's something in me that has an effect on my choices besides my mind. So what are the things that affect my mind in this life? Well, my samskara, or the impressions I experience in this life, and my responses to them, my parents' dosha balance and their imbalances and their toxicity at the time of conception, what my mom was exposed to during pregnancy, my karma from past lives, or another way of saying it is my opportunities to learn and grow in this life, and my state of balance or the imbalances of doshas and agni in me. But with all of what I just mentioned, it's my response to those things that makes the difference. And this is where Ayurveda is so important in our living. How my mind works results in my chosen responses to what I'm given in this life. And this is so highly affected by my diet and my lifestyle, what we call ahar, the diet, and lifestyle, vihar. In Ayurveda, we know that the imbalances come from our disconnection from our higher self, or disconnection from the God of our heart, or Purusha. And my ability to make choices that move me toward the God of my heart is a natural thing that is only blocked by the imbalances from my choices. The natural state of our minds is sattva, balance and harmony in the light of our consciousness. So Ishvara can be the ruler of my choices if I keep myself pointed in that direction. If I allow myself to be distracted by life on the outside, then I forget the God of my heart and I start thinking I need to control everything around me and I have to figure it out, and I get attached to the timing. Big trouble. So this spiritual connection within needs to remain as the foundation for our living. If we think of Ishvara as God, now this can bring up a lot of stuff for a lot of people. Many of us associate God with some kind of organized religion or limitations. I went through the early part of my life rejecting the religions I was exposed to, as they seemed limiting and judgmental, qualities that seemed to me to be the opposite of what I could comprehend as God and the essence of religion, what it was supposed to be about. But as I turned away from those religions and my upbringing, I also threw out any sense of my spiritual self. So for a while in my life, I felt like a ball in a pinball machine, trying to get somewhere fast, but ultimately just bouncing off the walls with absolutely no control. And as time went on, I started trying to control people and things around me to have some sense of grounding and connection, although I didn't really realize that I was trying to do that at the time. My choices in life were only recognizable if they were extreme, meaning they were only recognizable to me if they were extreme. I changed careers a couple of times. I moved across the United States a few times. And that didn't often seem to bring me what I really wanted. It always felt like my life would start after that next thing I was looking for, that it was finished, that I got there. I didn't ever seem to get there. And then what yoga and Ayurveda offered me were tools that could take me beyond relying on all of that outside of me. What Ishvara is telling me is that there is a boon, there are blessings which come from my choices, from my ability to choose. The blessings that I experience externally are merely a reflection of my choices internally. But then the question becomes how to choose wisely. And that's where the pranidhana comes in. It is this action of turning inward for answers rather than focusing on outward action. It's the devotion that allows me to cultivate and fully experience the power of choice through my connection to the God of my heart. The meaningful inner connection comes with acceptance and surrender. Of what? To what? Think about how you felt when you came to accept something in life or someone. A sense of relief, some peace, a sense of opening or space. Acceptance is letting go of the resistance. Just as I was moving to New Zealand earlier this year, the paperwork started. So many signatures, so many requests to prove my identity. And at one point early on, I went into resistance to the whole process, which we must remember is fear. And it felt like torture for a few weeks. And then finally I accepted it and I started to laugh about it. And the people on the other end of the phone got a laugh about it too. They would say, well, I just need you to sign one more document. And I laughed and said, yes, of course you do. And then we laughed together. And then it passed so easily. Acceptance is the act of taking something that's offered. But on a deeper level, it's to see what's real for us, to recognize something. For example, we can recognize the uniqueness in each of us and realize the unity within us as well. And then what about surrender? To what? Well, how about to the process of life? I used to think that that was giving away my power. But I found out that it's actually claiming my true power, the power within. It's not power over others, but it's actually power in my self-control and how I use my 5 senses. In other words, the choices we make in our daily lives. With the practice of Ishvarapranidhana, we can see the power in our choices. And with surrender, we can see the depth of who we are. With practice, we can see the difference when we act from a place of disconnection and when we surrender to this divine source that is always there within us. When we connect to the God of our heart, we become teachable, we relax, and we become adventurous in life, like Bilbo in The Hobbit. We can experience the different flavors of life and discover the blessings in letting go and letting ourselves line up with the God of our heart. Thanks for listening in. If you have 5 minutes, check out Spark Your Intuition podcast. It's a series of intuitive meditation podcasts for daily life. It will support you to explore your prana, which is your energy, and how it runs. Each meditation offers simple tools to know your mind, body, and spirit, your energy body, and how they all work together. As a reminder, we offer in-depth practical training in Ayurveda and Yoga. It extends well beyond learning postures to encompass the whole of Yoga and Ayurveda. It will guide you to discover more about who you truly are. If you'd like to join us, please visit halepule.com. That's HALEPULE.com to learn more.